are one day away from the all-important New York primary, and now Donald Trump wants to jazz things up by injecting a little showbiz, he says, into the Cleveland convention. You know, because a contested convention isn't riveting enough. And Trump also hinting that the guy currently at the helm of the RNC, Reince Priebus, might lose his job. CNN's Sarah Murray is in New York. Sarah, Trump acting now as if the nomination is his, really, when it comes to the convention.
That's right, Jim. He is certainly not the Republican nominee yet, and he may not be the nominee when he winds up in Cleveland, but he sounds awfully confident about being able to hold some sway over what goes on at the convention in Cleveland, and he certainly sounded confident today here in New York. Here in the Big Apple, Donald Trump can almost taste victory.
We love this city. You look at the other folks that are running, they couldn't care less about New York.
Hours ahead of the New York primary, Trump appears poised for a big night.
If the polls are what they are, they were beyond anything that anybody's seen.
But his rivals keep churning on and hammering the frontrunner. Today, Ted Cruz already moving on to Maryland.
Maryland is a battleground. Maryland is going to have an outsized voice as the nation is looking to Maryland to decide, do we nominate Donald Trump and hand the election to Hillary Clinton? Or do we unite behind the Cruz campaign and beat Hillary Clinton?
While John Kasich stumped in New York, where he hopes to pick up a few delegates.
That's what he does. He feeds into their anxieties and their fears. There's no question there. Does he have any solutions for how he's going to deal with it? I don't think so.
As the fight for those delegates rages on.
It's a rigged system. It's a crooked system. It's 100% crooked.
Trump says he's not interested in wooing supporters behind the scenes.
Look, nobody has better toys than I do. I can put them in the best planes and bring them to the best resorts anywhere in the world. Doral, Mar-a-Lago. That has nothing to do with democracy.
The GOP frontrunner is issuing a sharp warning to the Republican National Committee to straighten out a process that has sometimes left him stumped.
They got to do something about it. The Republican National Committee, they better get going, because I'll tell you what, you're going to have a rough July at that convention.
And he's warning his supporters could be upset if a contested convention doesn't go his way.
I hope it does. It's a rigged system.
But RNC Chair Reince Priebus is shrugging aside Trump's complaints.
I find it to be rhetoric and hyperbole.
And Trump already appears to be planning ahead, suggesting to the Washington Post that he may not keep Priebus around if he's the nominee, and saying he wants to bring a little showbiz to the GOP convention. With an eye on the general election, he even tested out a new nickname for Hillary Clinton.
Crooked Hillary, folks. She's been crooked from the beginning.
Now, Donald Trump did something else that he is hoping will pay some dividends for him in the general election. Today, he met with his National Diversity Coalition. These are grassroots supporters from a number of states who are hoping to bring in more African American, more Hispanic, more Muslim supporters, not just in the Republican primary, but also in a potential general election fight. Of course, with some of the things Donald Trump has said in the past, they may have their work cut out for them, Jim.